Hey guys, Young back with some more Naval Action Closed Alpha. Today we've gone into a PvE match not to fight a AI ship, but to do a little basic how-to guide on manual sails. So the brig is going to be like your first square-sailed ship. So a lot of people don't like it when they come from the privateer, and the cutter, the yacht, things like that. But if you can do a few tricks with manual sails, you can definitely help yourself out and be a lot more maneuverable. So first thing I'm going to show you is if you look at the bottom left of the screen, you'll see we have our front mast and our rear mast. So default controls to manually control the front mast is to the left or port side will be W, and to the starboard side or right would be E. For the rear mast, it's Z and C. The larger ships have three masts. The rear mast controls the rear two masts or one mast, so you're not controlling three masts. So yeah, we're going to do a hard turn to the right, starboard side. So rudder engaged to starboard side. As I'm turning, I'm going to disengage the front of the front mast to the wind and engage the rear mast. And you can see the ship is turning nice and sharp. The way it really helped me figure it out is look at the compass and which way the wind is going and think which way you want to push your ship. Do you want to push the front of your ship or do you want to push the rear of your ship? So we've turned almost completely into the wind. I push F to return to auto skipper, which basically tries to find the best wind for the sails. So the computer's deciding the positioning of your sails. So I'm turning, and you can see I'm turning relatively slow. So now the way the wind is going, I want to push the front end of my ship and disengage the rear of my ship. So now you can see I'm turning much sharper because now the wind is pushing the front sails and it is pushing the rear sails a little there. But what you do, let's try it again. Let's go the other way. So disengage the front, engage the rear, and you see sharp turning. You can actually see the sails. They don't really have wind in them. Well, I got some wind pushing back into them. Whoop. And then we go back to auto skipper. And there we go. We're turning away. Okay, so enemies closing on us. We want to escape. So we're going to turn to the starboard side. We want to push the front of the ship again. So we're going to disengage the rear mast from the wind. And you can see how much sharper we're turning. He's taking some shots at us. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so now, yeah, you'll see me. I'm going to turn the rear sail a little as we're turning, just to try to get the maximum angle of the wind. Now, oopsies. Now I'm going to start disengaging the front sail to keep the hard turn going. And we're going to go on irons, if you will, or right against the wind and stall out, and I'll show you something neat we can do. So I'll put it in auto skipper just to show you what happens when we get stuck on irons. So we're going to slow right down. You can see our speed just burning off. Till we come to a stop. And you can see the wind is we're not getting really any forward momentum at all because we're sitting directly in the wind. You can see our sails are trying to catch the wind, but they can't. So now we're just going to we'll turn this way a little, and you'll see the sails trying to figure it out. We're trying to turn to the right. We started to turn to the left, and now we're turning back to the right. You know, now the sails are turning to try to catch the wind. No, we're not going anywhere. We're going back to the left. Really, really sucks. So, here's what you do. Besides getting shot by the AI bot. So we put our rudder in neutral and we manually position our sails to be dead on in the wind. And what you'll see is the wind is now pushing our sails but not forwards, but backwards. You'll see our speed, our momentum is now negative 2.8. So we're actually like sailing backwards now. Beep, beep, beep. We're getting shot, but that's okay. So we want to turn to the right. I'm going to try putting my rudder to the right. Oh, but the ship's turning to the left. So when you're going backwards, I did that intentionally, by the way. When you're going backwards, if you want to turn to the right, you're going to have to turn your rudder to the left. And you can see the ship is turning to the right. Same thing vice versa. If you want to turn to the left while traveling backwards, rudder to the right. This is a great tactic to use in certain circumstances. So, okay, now you can see we're turning backwards, but we're going to do the manual sail quick turn in reverse. So we're disengaging our rear mast. And just like in reverse, you know, we were turning pretty sharp there. So back to auto skipper. Now the wind is definitely in all of our sails. And we've got out of that on iron situation by using manual sails. If you're not using manual sails, you can get away with it in like the smaller ships because they're just so fast and maneuverable, but when you get progressively larger ships, you're going to have to start using manual sails if you want to have some success. So again, I won't call it out, I'll just do it and you can observe the way the sails are moving. Okay. So, I hope that helps some of you guys with the idea of the manual sails. I know I was a little lost at first. And again, just kind of think, so we want to turn to the right, so we want to push the front of our ship, so we disengage the rear sails. Just kind of think about that and all the maneuvers you're trying to accomplish, and it's a pretty good strategy for not getting messed up with your manual sails. So yeah, vice versa, I want to push the rear of my ship. So we look at the wind gauge, engage that sail, disengage the other sail, move that front mast so it continues to be disengaged throughout the turn, return to auto. And if you're doing this, you can see um, vastly superior maneuverability. I'll just try turning, I haven't really done it too much, but I'll just try turning normally with just rudder and auto skipper on. And you can see it's a much wider arc. And sometimes that's what you want, but sometimes you don't want that. So, nice wide turn, but if we disengage our rear sail, you can see how much faster that ship turns. Turn back. Oh, I thought we had carronades loaded. We clearly don't. Okay, now we can't let this Mr. Blood get away unscathed. So, excuse me. Let us make him pay for trying to interrupt our brief little lesson there. So we will go to gunnery focus. Now, I definitely don't really suggest PvE unless you want to try some stuff out in some ships. Try out some tactics, some silly tactics or something, or try out some new gun setups. But definitely get into the player versus player or the player versus player light, because if all you're doing is playing against AI, you're definitely not getting the full picture. And when the game's fully released, you're gonna be playing against a lot more players and not be up to the snuff. So player versus environment is good for certain circumstances, but not solely. Definitely get into the player versus player, and don't be intimidated by it. It's actually really fun and a lot more dynamic than playing an AI bot. So you can see we're on irons. Our speed is killed, so we're going to now put our rudder to the left, and we're going to continue to turn to the right. We're going to try to keep engaging our sails into the wind, traveling backwards as we reload. Okay, back to auto skipper, hard right, and we're speeding up and heading away. Not necessarily the tactic we wanted to use there, but again, just a good example of how to do it. Not really tactically set on destroying this guy because I know what he's trying to do. He's just going to sail around and try to shoot me. Sail around in circles, try to get beside me. Or when I'm hurting him, he'll run away. So, actually, let's board him. So, we're going to finish it off by boarding him. That'll be a lot more interesting. We'll pop a repair. Heck, we'll even go into survival. He's been laying on us heavy while we've been practicing our sails. So you can now see what he's done. And you can see what we're going to have to do. Get our rear guns in play. Now, since he's so politely come around this way, return to auto skipper, and back to trying to board him. We'll go back to gunnery. Now he's turning into us. We're going to drop our sails completely and turn into him. Now we'll go dead slow. We are attempting to board. Okay, so we rammed him. We're going to unleash a broadside and board. Okay, we're going to go, remember, attack is rock, paper, scissors, so we're going to start with scissors. Okay, he keeps hitting defend. We're going to keep hitting scissors. Oh, it's close. Did we win? No, he sunk. He sunk before he could finish killing my crew, because I don't think we were going to win. Okay, guys, that was just a basic intro on how to do manual sales. Hope this helps. Catch you next time.